Helen McRory is dead. And at 52, it's too soon. Boy, will we miss her. Actress played Aunt Polly in the Peaky Blinders series that just kept on going and probably will keep on going, but without that sassy Aunt Polly. She was also in the last 3 movies of the Harry Potter franchise, so she's got some stats, baby. This is the Hollywood Sauce. Let's do some bad jokes fast. All right, Aquaman 2 adds Game of Thrones actor Pilu aspect to its cast. You know, the more real actors to distract you the fact that Jason Momoa can act, the better. Borat subsequent movie film releasing extra footage. The film will now be 2,400 hours long and still be better than Justice League. Kristen Wiig and Annie Mulo, they are set to write Cinderella's evil stepsister film. In the whole slew of Disney doing villain origin stories, no way this story doesn't have a happy ending. It's the most magical place on Earth, and you're like, you know what? We should love the people we're supposed to hate. Godzilla vs. King Kong saved the box office at the expense of Hong Kong. This pandering to the Chinese market has really gotten out of hand. Bob Odenkirk kicks ass in Nobody, a film with the sole purpose of emboldening suburban dads, officially making Bob Odenkirk the silly Kevin Costner. A new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film is in the works, and it's set with director Fede Alvarez. And that's the real pronunciation. The idea was greenlit after the success of Texas Blizzard Massacre. Try to stop that body count. In Fast and Furious 9, the franchise returns to its roots by focus on Dom Toretto and his family. Because family is everything. Leaving out The Rock and Jason Statham, and the movie will have a normal title. The trailer just dropped for the long-awaited action comedy sequel, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, starring Ryan Reynolds, Samuel Jackson, Salma Hayek, and Antonio Banderas. What a fucking sexy cast. We're dropping F-bombs on YouTube. The film is expected to be as successful as the performances are subtle. You can't buy that for a second. From all 4 of them, there's nothing going to be subtle about shit. Ryan Reynolds is going to be sexually charming and charged. Samuel Jackson will say all the swear words. And Selma Hayek, Badao! Antonio Banderas is just gonna keep that movie theater floor wet, and sticky afterwards. Bring up the mops! Falcon and Winter Soldier is the most viewed series on Disney+. Take that, House of Mouse. Happy Endings is a show that spanned from 2011 to 2020, and it only had 3 seasons, so you know they had their shit together. But if you're a fan of improv, it's a lot of fun. Adam Pally, Damon Wayans Jr., and Alicia Cuthbert star. And it's cute, but all over the place. So do that with what you will. It's all right. Adam Pally needs more work. Here's a rad show made from HBO Max, believe it or not. It's called Made for Love. And it's 8 episodes are out right now. More coming out weekly. Kristen Milotti from Palm Springs, summer movie, I think. Movie of the summer is how you would call that. It was a summer made in the movie, but I think it was the summer of the movie. For the movie of the summer. Stupid. Kristen Milotti from Palm Springs this past summer is captivating protagonist. She is great in it. Billy Magnuson is insane, and Ray Romano is endearing as ever. And the star of the show really steals every scene she's in. Spoiler alert, a sex doll. That was Bad News Fast. With us as always, coming on to you with a fit of film. He's going to sweet talk your sweet ears about movies and more. Please welcome Johnny Mockney.
Hello. Thank you. Beloved filmmaker Zack Snyder has recently come out with the trailer for a new film called Army of the Dead, which is about zombies in Las Vegas. I think this is really funny because we just got the Snyder Cut, which is pretty much his final gasp to prove to the world that he's a serious filmmaker in a number of minutes that exceeds the entire filmography of Jean Vigo. Just in case he did convince you that he's a real artist, Undead Elvis has arrived just in time to squash those dreams. Just recently, Snyder talked about how he offered roles in the DCEU to people like Daniel Day-Lewis, which, unfortunately, he was not able to swing. Instead, he settled for a thespian of equal stature, Dave Bautista, who, if you judge acting prowess entirely by body mass and WrestleMania World Heavyweight Championships, is a trade-up. I'm happy about this, personally. In art, you should stick to what you know, and Zack Snyder's the kind of guy who lifts weights with his cast and unironically likes Ayn Rand books because he just thinks she's a good author. That's the mark of an auteur who's above the nuanced art cinema by the likes of Andrei Tarkovsky. A man who owes it to himself, and to us, to just show us some slow-motion machine guns riddling through some zombie tigers. A zombie tiger. The only way this could be better is if the zombie tiger gets a rematch against zombie Siegfried and Roy. These are the feelings that I want from a Zack Snyder joint. Not pretentious introspection. Snyder is the frat boy who took one creative writing class and now he thinks he can write poetry. When, in reality, he should just stick to putting Cheese Whiz in his butt. And I will personally pay to see that every single time. Thank you very much.
Johnny Magny, everybody! Give it up for him. If this was a live studio audience, there would be clapping and an applause sign, because that is clearly what we need in this business! There it is. It doesn't sound like you're jacking off at all. Now it's everyone's favorite segment. Most certainly my parents' favorite segment, because they wrote it. It's the Parents' Pick of the Week. This past week, the parents decided to see an oldie but a goodie. No new releases for these folks. No, they sat down to watch 1984's classic sci-fi, The Terminator. Yeah, they rewatched this classy movie, set the stage for all cyborg, robot, and AI movies to come. This is the premier cybergenetic movie for my parents. Nothing else before that. Take that, 1970s Westworld. The breakout role for Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he was in Raw Deal before this, led to a movie franchise. For 1984, the graphics and CGI are very good. The story is compelling, and Linda Hamilton is great as Sarah Connor. Of course she is. The movie still stands up after all these years. You hear that, James Cameron? Big pump for you. They watched The Terminator. You know what I mean? They didn't watch... Let me get a list of the Terminators for you, just so they picked the first one. They didn't pick Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, that's a TV show, Terminator Genesis, Terminator Dark Fate, which sounds like a bad video game, but I'm told that it's alright. And James Cameron has the balls to say there's more stories to tell. Alright, but this is a great movie. Terminator's a classic. And a side note, they said, my brother was named after the character Kyle Reese. This is how I view my parents watching this movie in like when it came out in like 1984. Just the jaws dropped at it. Just oh my god, I love this movie, Jim. Yes, Don. Nothing funny to make fun of here. It is just a great sci-fi flick. I love that Kyle Reese. Yes, and if we have a second child, we'll name him after him. But what if we have a first child? Well, then we'll name him after me. Duh. Anyway, my parents give The Terminator 4 bags of popcorn. Pretty good movie. Holding up till the test of time. My parents are actually pretty pissed off because the Fox News has a popcorn rating for their movie critique. And they think they stole our idea. Alright. That was the Hollywood Sauce. Those are all the segments that we had planned for today. Lucky you. Shorty show.
Did you have something else to say?
Well, we want to check out the YouTube, and you want to make sure you check out our YouTube channel at Salsa Parlor for the morning show.
It's on YouTube. Just say...
I know, this is a YouTube show.
Just say, please subscribe.
Please, what is the bell? The bell will be right here, right?
Yeah.
And the like is over.
The like is going to be right there.
Please subscribe and then like, because this show is something that we don't do a lot of, but we want to continue to do it. So, I don't know. Do it for me, so I'm not hanging from a high ceiling in a low Ford one.
Keep on, keep running. Running and running.
I want you to off. We talk about news and movies and shit we don't like, things you might like. Hey, come on down. It's the Hollywood Sauce.